Okay, hi everyone. I'm Nisha. I'm the Member Services Coordinator at Village to Village Network, and today's new member orientation will help everyone get acquainted with the website and learn how to access all the resources. So I'm going to go over the two things Donna had asked in her email since she has to leave early. So first and foremost, we have this slider on the homepage. This is right when you go to vtvnetwork.org. So this changes, every few weeks with whatever activities we have, and our webmaster changes the slider. So we have a new Tech Tuesday webinars series. If everyone could mute their microphones, just so there's not any background noise, that would be great. I'm going to go ahead and mute some people. And then if you have any questions, feel free to just unmute yourself. We have a small enough group, and just ask me whatever question you need. I see in the chat. Gary, you're not getting any audio. Everyone should be able to see I'm typing in the chat right now. So if you have any questions, you can type them there, or you can just unmute yourself and ask aloud. So back to the slider. So we have our Tech Tuesday up on our webinars on one of the sliders, as well as the conference registration, which just closed. And then, we have our sponsorship opportunities as well. But right under that is Find a Village. It's our new map, which you can search by, zip code, city, region, community served, etc. So this is the only place where we have a search capability. We unfortunately don't have a search for the entire website. So let's say you wanted to find a village that was serving the zip code of 63108. So that's a Missouri zip code. Put in Missouri within like 10 miles of 63108. So you can also put it even more restrictions on it, so you can decide if you want urban, rural, suburban. Obviously, with the more restrictions you put on there, the less villages will pop up. But when it comes to areas such as anywhere in California or the DC area, we have so many villages, so feel free to be as specific as you want, since we have so many to choose from. So I go ahead and press search after that, and I see that 2 villages serve within 10 miles of the zip code 63108. But I see that, STL Village is open, where City Village is in development. I can also go back to my search and decide that I only want villages that are open. So then just results to STL Village. I can go to more info to get information on their primary member, as well as contact information, their additional member data, so just a little bit more about their village. And some people have a biography of their village under there as well. Also, most villages try to link to their website, and you can just click here and it'll go straight to the village website. Are there any questions on the map and how it works? Make sure to unmute yourself first before you ask the question, or type it in the chat box. Gary, were you able to get audio?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right, I'm going to move forward. So I'm going to go over the profile first, and then we'll come back to other things on the homepage. So when you're logged into Village Network, you'll know that by seeing your name in the top right-hand corner. If you're not logged in, you'll see another button identical to this donate one that just says login. You just go ahead and press that, and then you'll see your name pop up in the right-hand corner if you're logged in. So you hover over your name and you go to your profile. So when you're a primary member, you'll see, your type of membership. So you're either opportunity membership or full membership. Your status, whether you're active, expired, etc. Your expiration date and your last renewal, as well as your join date. So this information that I'm going to give is most important for the primary member of villages. So if you're a primary member of your village, you're going to want to have the contact information reflect that of the villages. So I have my village email address, village phone number, village postal address, as well as, website if you guys have one. And then under home and secondary, I put, my home address if I so please. It's not necessary. But what is important is that your village organization address and information is up at the top under contact info, because that's the information that ends up on the map and on the website. And then I'm just going to jump to state/additional members. And the way to do that is by adding people, and you just press add next to their name. So I just press state/additional members, and this is how you add people to your accounts. So if you're a primary member, once again, you're the only one who can do this. Secondary and tertiary members don't have the ability to add or remove people. They have to contact their primary member. So basically I just go in, add, and then I put their first and last name here. And if you did it correctly and you put the information, the address, etc. of the village in your contact information, you can click this button that says click here to copy address and contact info from the primary member. So you just click that and it auto-populates. You just need to enter their first and last name as well as their email. And after you press save, there's going to be a white pop-up box like this, just a bit smaller, with their username and password. It's very important that the primary member writes that down and gives it to that person. That person can then use it to log in for the first time. And after they log in for the first time, they can change it to something they better remember. You do the same thing for tertiary members. And also, just to give you a little background on the difference, secondary members have a username and password that will pop up that you'll have to give to them. Having a username and password means that you can access all the resources that we provide for Village to Village Network members. If you're a tertiary member, you're recognized as a member in the system and you receive the forum posts as well as all of our email blasts, but you do not have a username and password, which means you cannot access the member benefits that we have for our village members. So secondary members you have 20 slots for a full membership and 10 slots for an opportunity membership. Secondary members are best used for like board members, maybe your executive director is a primary, so your president ends up being a secondary member, any committee heads, and any people who really need to access the website for good resources. Tertiary members could be people who like every so often want to come to a Village to Village Network webinar and they want to be brought on as a guest, or maybe they just want to receive the email blasts and the forum blasts. They won't be able to reply to the forums, but they'll be able to read everything that comes through. Secondary members are able to reply to the forums. Any questions about this page? Okay. Moving forward. Oh, let's see. Question. Francis, so if you're an opportunity membership, you get 10 secondary members, and if you're a full membership, you get 20 secondary members. Both memberships get 10 tertiary members. All right, so I've gone over contact info and state/additional members. The next thing I'm going to go over is additional member data. Once again, very important for primary members mostly. So primary members, as you saw when I searched a village on the map, you saw that once I pressed on STL Village, you could see all their questions answered, and that was from the additional member data. So you go ahead and you answer all these questions about your village, press save at the end, and that's really best because when someone's searching for a village or searching for your village, it's best to give them as much information as possible, which is why we always ask that primary members go through and take the time to answer these questions. There's not that many, just so people have more information on the map. We also have a membership directory that shows up under our resources, and it's on the homepage. So also you can go ahead. This goes for everyone, primary, secondary members. You can decide how much information you want to show. Technically, if you're on here with all visibility, people who are members can search you. Let's say, I'm in San Antonio and I really want to contact the executive director of Beacon Hill Village in Boston. I can go in the membership directory and check that. As a primary member, though, it is important that I put all our social networks on here, as well as a biography, because as you saw, that shows up on the map as well, and it'll just show up blank if you don't have any. But it's really best to give people more information on your village. It's really best to have your Facebook page up there, your Twitter page, so people can see your posts and activities, and once again, just learn more about your village. And then you can decide what all information you want to be shown or not. So any questions about the membership directory or the additional member data? All right, next I'm going to go over transaction history. So transaction history will show all the events you registered for, as well as if you had to pay anything for them. So as you can see, these are all the webinars that I've signed up for over the years, and you'll see the event registration and how much it costs, and then the reference number, which this part isn't important. So let's say you forgot if you registered for something and can't find the confirmation email or whatever it may be. You can always go in transaction history and check here to see if you registered or not. Payment credit history is similar, so these will just show where you have payments. Many people will have payments that show for the National Village Gathering registration. So a lot of people ask me for receipts for me to send them over. You can actually access receipts under your own profile by going to payment credit history, pressing receipt, and then if you want to print it, or you can just print it and then change your destination to save as a PDF. And then lastly, if you have any credits on your account, maybe you had to cancel a registration for something that costs money, we can either refund you money through a check that'll take a few weeks to process, or you can put a credit on your account. So if people have to cancel registrations that cost money and they use the village account or village credit card number, they'll often just put it back as a credit and they'll count it towards their next renewal, which is, the following year or whenever the next renewal may come around. They can just use that credited money for their renewal. If you have a village credit card or you have a credit card that will always be used for village transactions, you can always put it in here and save it, but nothing will ever auto pay, or, there'll never be an auto renewal, because you always have to go in and do the renewal steps and update your additional member data, as well as you always have to enter the security code. So putting this in here is very safe, as no one can actually use that information until you go in and re-enter the security code. Event history is similar to transaction history. Events that I had registered for, and then status paid, canceled, unpaid, and the amount that I paid. Any questions under financial/historical data? Make sure to unmute before you ask if you do have a question. All right, moving forward, we have our forum general preferences. So as you guys have seen, if you have your email on file, you get emails from the forum posts that come under general questions. So you have your primary email that's on here, and you can also decide whether or not you want forum members to send direct replies. So as you know, the forum posts come directly to your email, and there's always an option in the top that's in blue writing that says reply directly to Nisha, and then the email address will show up. If you don't want people to be able to reply to you directly, just go ahead and uncheck that box. Some people don't like having the forum messages in their inbox, and they'd rather just log on and read them online when they want. And you can just go ahead and uncheck send forum message to me via email, and that will make sure that you don't get any messages to your inbox, and you will have to log in to see any of the posts. You can also change the frequency. So I get emails from people immediately when they post on the forums, but maybe you just want to get a forum email once a day, and then you just put daily digest with the full messages or daily digest with subjects only. It's really up to your preferences and how you like your inbox to be. You also can do a little message signature, or if you don't want to put a whole signature, you can just put display my location with my messages. It's not necessary to have both. Obviously, I just have both on to show people. So maybe if you have more information to add here, it would be best to put that. But a lot of people will just put their location. But I do like to see what village people are from, so it is really best to have your village in your signature. And lastly, if you want a picture with your forum post, you can just choose file and upload it from your computer, and then you'll have that picture display every time you post on the forums. Any questions about forum preferences? Okay. Forum memberships, everyone is automatically subscribed to the general questions forum. And there's a few other forums that we have, but they're specific to like Club Express and Helpful Village Users Group, Frail Members Call. But really, we tell people just use general questions because people really don't use the other forums. But we do ask that you search the forums first before asking a question, as many of them are repeated. But I'll go over that when we go over the forums. Then the last thing on your profile is actually two more things. So when you are the primary member and your renewal date is coming up, there'll be a red renewal button here, and you can go ahead and renew, and maybe you're not ready to pay. Then that red line will just change to payment due, and that'll stay until the payment is processed. All right, finally, as I was talking about your username and password, so maybe your primary member handed you your username and password, you logged in for the first time, but you want to make it something that you will remember better. You go in, log into your profile, go to the top right-hand corner, profile, here you are. You press username/password, and in there, you put your username in, and you can change this too, and put your password into what you want it to be changed to. Just remember to press save at the end. Oh, this is very important. If you're on a shared computer that multiple village members will be using, when you log in by pressing the green login that's usually up here, never check this. Never check the remember me on this computer, because with the way this works, it's quite a pain to unremember the person and get someone else on. So always best just not check that if you're on a shared computer. If you're on your home computer that only you's going to be logging in, that's more than fine. All right, any questions about anything here that I showed that was on your profile? Okay. So now I'm going to go back to the home page. So under the village, or under the map, which I already showed you, we have About Village, Village Network, which are just pages that are under here. I'll let you guys look over that in your own time, because they're just little pages that explain Village to Village Network and villages and the village movement a bit better, as well as staff, board of directors, frequently asked questions to the network, partners, and then the map again, and the donation module. The event calendar is, I'll go over that in just a second. You guys probably already know how to use it since you got yourself registered for this event. The donation module, as well as our impact. And then, you know, we always link to our Facebook, Twitter, our address, and phone number and email addresses down here as well. So under media, we have the news tab where we have our archived newsletters from each month, as well as we also have articles that have featured villages or the network. So our webmaster will get alerts to his inbox that there is Village to Village Network or a certain village was mentioned, and he'll upload this to the news module on our website. And then you can go ahead and click read more to access the article. Videos is, these are a bunch of videos from individual villages that sent them over to us. Maybe their marketing or promo videos, and we have quite a bit. So if your village is looking into doing a video, you might check some of these and then get some inspiration from them. So the next thing is the calendar, which I'll go over this quickly since you guys probably all figured it out as you registered for this webinar. All the events are displayed in green, and you just click on whatever you're interested in. And then we have the description at the bottom, as well as a click to register. If you only see the add to my calendar, you don't see the click to register, that means that you haven't logged into your account yet. And so you'll see add to my calendar, you won't see this, and you'll see log in. That means you're not logged in, and members are the only ones who can attend these events, so you have to be logged in to register. You go through a few steps, you press complete registration, and then you get a confirmation email to your inbox. And the email goes to the email that was provided in your contact information under your profile. Any questions about the calendar? All right. The last thing is the resources. So I'll just go through these one by one. Member benefits is just a page giving quick explanations on the resources as well as the membership tiers and how much they cost. So I'll let you guys look at that on your own time, and I'll go through the resources one by one. So the first thing we have is the document library. We have two main folders, village documents and network documents. More often than not, you'll be looking under village documents. Make sure you always press the folder because that opens all the subfolders. So as you can see, there's documents under village formation, and there's also documents under. So under village formation, I just scroll down. These are the documents in the village formation folder. But let's say I'm trying to get to the Village Toolkits folder. I need to make sure that's highlighted, and then I'll see what's under there. We have tons and tons of documents for people to use, so I would take some time to go through all of this and look at what your village needs. And don't reinvent the wheel. Make sure to go through this, and if you're looking for nonprofit policies, go through some of other villages' policies. We have so many, and take ideas from there to create your own. And some of the folders have a blue upload button. We really encourage villages to upload the documents they use so it'll benefit future villages. Go ahead and upload that, and I'll get a notification and I can approve it. We don't have a search capability on the document library just yet, so if you're unable to find something, just email me and I can look for it and send it to you directly or send you the path to get to it. Any questions about the document library? Okay, I'm going to move on to the forums. So first we have, like I said, our general questions, which is the main form that people use. So as you can see, the first thing to do is just press on this form to go into it. You can start a new thread. You can go directly to your My Forum preferences as shown in your profile. And then this kind of stuff you won't see because you're not an admin. But we always ask that people search the forum first because questions are asked so many times. So let's say I'm looking for something on transportation. Go ahead and press search this forum. It's loading right now. So as you can see, after you click it, you can make the search more advanced. So you can do any, all words, exact phrase. Maybe you know that a certain member posted something about transportation and you wanted to read their post again. You can select the member. You can do the date range that it was posted. You can also do relevance. I always like to do newest first to get information from now rather than 5 years ago. But as you can see, we have 100 messages on transportation. So you can go through and you can click on any of these and it'll route you straight to that forum post. You can see the original question as well as all the responses under it, and you'll see who posted it and what village posted it if they have a message signature under there. You also might want to reply to a message. You know, maybe they asked a question or made a comment. So you can reply directly to whatever message by pressing the blue arrow that says reply. And then you can decide whether you want a private reply via email or reply to the forum post so everyone can see it. And you type your reply in here and you post your message. Any questions on that? Okay, so this is back to the forum general questions main page. Maybe you searched the forum and you weren't able to find the exact answer to your question. You can go ahead and start a new thread, put the subject in, and then go ahead and put your information in right here, your question or your comment. You can post the message. Any questions on forum posts? All right, the next thing is the webinars. So I am recording this, so this is going to show up on this page, but all our archived webinars are on this page, and it shows up with the most recent as the first one. So if there's any related materials, such as a PowerPoint or a handout, they'll be linked here through the document library, and then if you press view webinar, there is the YouTube channel that has all our webinars. And as you can see, we have them all listed here. And then we have our archives for any webinars that were before August 22nd. You can go here and it's the same thing. But this one is now sorted by the type. So member services webinars, and then we have technology. We have so many. So go ahead and look through those as well. And then our Tech Tuesday webinars, that's a different webinar series. They just have their own page. Same format. Any questions about webinars? All right, the next thing is our Village Better Buys. So these companies have given Village to Village Network members a discount on their services. And you can go ahead and see a little blurb about what they're about. And then if you want to learn more, it'll show the discount in bold as well as any contact information you need to get that discount. So on your own time, you guys can look through all of these and see if anything would be best for your village and how you can utilize our Village Better Buys. Next, we have our Village 101 Toolkit. And this just gives an overview of the toolkit, and then there's a downloadable PDF right here. This contains a checklist and step-by-step instructions on how to start a village. Then we have the mentor program. So the Village to Village Network mentor program is meant to formalize the mentoring process so we have more of the information. So we have a list of mentors that we can match you with. And if you want to receive a mentor with anything from general startup to technology questions to fundraising questions, whatever it may be, we ask that you fill out this application and then we'll try to match you within 7 days. And we're always looking for mentors, so you can also fill out the Becoming a Mentor application if you think you could talk to someone about a specific topic or just village things in general that you find yourself to be an expert on. We'd really appreciate more mentors coming through. And then we'd also like to track our hours mentored. So each month I send out a tracking form just so I have an idea of how many months or how many hours are being logged each month. And then the full details of the program are here, linked to a document. And the last thing is the membership directory I talked about earlier. You can search by first, last name, city, state, zip, country, etc. So maybe I want to find members in St. Louis, and it looks like only 2 are listed, one for STL Village, and I can just contact this member by phone or email because that's what they allow to be shown on the directory. All right, well, that concludes the new member orientation, but I'm here to answer any questions, and it could be about something I presented or just anything Village to Village Network related. And if there aren't any questions, this concludes the presentation, so you can go ahead and log off. And if you do think of any questions, feel free to email me.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.